Hi. Welcome to Hauzd. In this video we will learn how to modify and use our interface template to create a unique look for your client. Your clients will always appreciate if you create a special interface to match their brand, and the best way to do it is to use Illustrator to modify, customize and import your own UI files to the engine. You will need the Hauzd script for Adobe Illustrator. You can download it from the Help Desk site, install it in your Adobe Scripts presets folder. This script will export all your elements into the correct folder in the correct formatting. After the exporting is done, you only need to import it to the engine. You will also need the standard UI. You can find it in our Help Desk site as well. This package will contain the sample project standard UI, 3 Illustrator files that the app will use on its different sizes, small, medium, and large. Those 3 files must have the same elements and configuration unless you need different user interfaces for each size. Now, we will open the Media in Illustrator file to inspect what's inside. The template has everything already organized in layers with specific naming and colors. You won't have to modify the code for now, but it will be really useful if you familiarize with some of them just so you know what exactly are you modifying. Everything is customizable. To change color for an icon or background, you need to change the fill color. And to change the color of a font, you need to change the stroke color. We got a couple of sub-layers for each main layer. Both Export Rect and Export Image sublayers are used to define rectangular UI elements and assign them their specific purpose. For example, you can create read-only texts, decorative graphical elements buttons, such as btn return and markup other elements. The difference between Export Rect and Export Image is that elements in Export Rect will only export their position, dimension, stroke and fill colors and tags but no actual graphical pixel data, and elements in Export Image will actually export their graphical pixel data as defined by any element you have inside the main layer. Keep in mind that even though Export Rect does not export graphics, elements inside Export Rect can reference other graphical elements with a ref tag. Also note that some elements do not need graphics at all, such as texts and borders, and should always be placed inside Export Rect. In the magenta layers we will find all the entrance elements in the order they will appear. The general background will be the last in the layer list. This way you can also use it as a background guide in Illustrator. The first and second magenta layer will contain your logo and facilitator position. The third layer contains the language buttons. The 2 following layers define position on the intro gallery. Keep in mind that the slider images will be defined in the engine configuration marking as prime when adding an image. The last magenta layer will take care of the disclaimer screen, the spacing for the text and buttons. This text will be defined using the admin panel under the app section in the property tree. The light blue layers contains icons and buttons for your app, filters icons and their sliders. Most of these buttons will show depending on the app configuration. For example, if you don't have a list saved in the app, the icon won't show. The cyan layers will define information and texts when a unit is selected, and the information to display when no unit is selected. This can display properties we already defined in the app, such as labels, beds, baths, price, availability and more. The orange layers contains shared information such as common icons, thumbs borders, upper interface colors, and more important, groups. We will talk more about groups in a couple of minutes. Green layers contain secondary screens interface. You can find list, gallery, image, specification, and contact. There are several options to modify the appearance in the app. Those options will be defined within the layer's name. You can modify anchor for placement using these values. Font size, vertical align, animation fade in and fade out, color multiply for buttons, display text. You can use your own custom text, or use a property or label from the admin. Groups will be used to organize our icons within a specific space. You can tweak those spaces in the group layer and assign the group in our layer's name. All elements will be organized automatically in the same order. Using groups and icons can help you to create nice layouts that can adapt really well in all devices. After we're done editing, you can execute the script in the 3 sizes and import your UI. Remember to set in the editor your preferred orientation and languages. You will set in the admin panel all texts and labels for the languages that you just selected. Remember, all changes in the admin will be applied at the moment you save. No need to import again your UI unless you apply a layout change. We will learn more about the admin panel and real-time control in the next video. Customization will always be something that your client will appreciate, and there's a lot of options for it. If you need any assistance or help with your unique layout, you can request for help in our community section. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.